folks, we're out here again on a trail ride. Turned out to be a pretty nice day today. We've been dodging raindrops for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's been raining and cold, and it even snowed in the mountains here in West Virginia a little bit. Over into sort of the mountainy area of Maryland. We didn't get any snow, but we got into the low 40s, upper 30s. A lot of the nights in the last couple weeks, and it's been in the 50s or so. Today it's supposed to be around 70, so we should have a pretty good outing today. So, yeah, just trying to get out as much as I can. It's kind of tough to find time sometimes, so I get out and go when it's possible. So I was just curious if anybody had heard anything more about the new Lectric Bike, the 2.0, or whatever they're going to call it. I had someone in the comments, I meant to look and see, I'm sorry I forget your name. I talked to so many people during the day, but anyway, he left me a link in the comments, a little video from Lectric themselves, kind of showing the new Lectric Bike with the suspension forks. They have, I think the rack looks the same on the back wheel, but it has some attachment points. I guess a couple baskets come with the bike, one for the front, one from the back. And the basket on the back kind of sits on top of your rack. It's got a few screws that you actually screw it into your back rack. And I thought they might look like, you know, little trinket type baskets, but no, they're made out of the same steel that these back racks are made out of. Kind of a black round bar basket, flat on the bottom. Probably it's a little bit more of a rectangle, but it looks, I don't know, kind of like a milk crate. The sides go up on it 3 or 4 inches or so, and then I suppose they didn't really show how it attached to the front, but they have one that attaches to the front of your bike, and it's the same type of thing, the black bar, flat bottom with the sides, give you some good storage. And it looks like the front light comes off and then attaches onto that basket so that your front light doesn't get covered up if you have that front basket on. The other thing was it's definitely having 3-inch tires. And I'll post this, I'll go ahead and see if I can post, or I can put that video link to the new bike in the description of this video down at the bottom. If you don't see it, just go down to where it tells the title when your video is playing, and then hit the show more button, and it'll open up, and you'll be able to see that link, just to let you see what the bike looks like for those of you that haven't seen it. Those of you that have received an email asking if you want to upgrade, or if you have an order out there and you haven't received the email yet but are wondering what the bike looks like, I'll see if I can post that in my description below this video so you can take a look at it. Just looking at the bikes from the side and the front, really, you can't tell much difference at all. They still kind of use the same colors. I saw a regular, XP body style, and a step-through body style, one white and one black. The electric is still on the side of the compartment that holds your battery, but the striping is different. That's about all with the paint and the stripes that I could tell was a difference. So just to see them, well, and then the front forks, of course, have the shock, but you know, unless you really look, you kind of don't even notice that. I don't know, it's pretty sharp looking. If I was waiting for my bike and they offered me, I don't know, I may go ahead and upgrade to that for $50 extra. If you don't have an order in and you decide to buy it, I think it's $100 extra, which would still make the bike $1,000, which is still less expensive than really anything else that I've seen that can compare to this bike with all the specs that this has. The 500 watt motor, 800 watt peak. So it's pretty interesting. Are you? But yeah, I don't know, it's pretty sharp. Will I be getting one? I don't know. The only way I would be to just show it on the channel, I think. As you can see, except for a few spots, a lot of my trails are pavement, so I don't know that I would necessarily need the front shock. I think the better place to have it would be on the back wheel. You set up so straight on these bikes, most of the bumps that you take are from the back wheel that jars your rear end and your spine. Excuse me, thanks. So yeah, if it was a rear wheel suspension, I might really seriously consider upgrading. I'm not sure when it will arrive, the new one. I've heard some folks say that they were told that it would be June 1st, ready to ship. So if that's the case, you know, it may not be a bad solution. Okay, I'm back. I had to turn you off for a minute. We had some guys back there with a chainsaw. They were trimming some trees, so I wanted to take it a little bit easy on your ears today. But yeah, the leaves are out now. And the sun's finally out. It's feeling pretty good out here today. Not too hot. But anyway, like I said, I'll go ahead and I'll post, at least I'll try. I'm not real computer savvy, but I'll try and post that video. So those of you that would like to take a look at the new Lectric Bike, you'll be able to see it, kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Okay, as you can see, we've switched over to a crushed gravel, and I can tell you right off the bat it's a lot harder to pedal in than pavement. Looks like we had a little bit of a gully washer here. I've been through here before and this was not like this. Go off-road a little bit. Yeah, there was a nice slide. We've had a lot of rain over the last week, and this is the time around West Virginia you see a lot of state road trucks parked alongside of the road where the bank is caved in, and they're scooping up boulders and things that have rolled off the hill, landed out into the road, trees. Looks like here somebody had to cut one. That's a little bit older. It's not very fresh. But that water really wreaks havoc on a lot of these mountainsides where they cut out for roads and things. You know, the interesting thing about these rail trails, most of the ones that I ride on are along a river. And I guess that makes sense, as mountainous as West Virginia is. Boy, it would have cost a fortune and taken forever to lay rail tracks, you know, right through where mountains are. But I guess going along the rivers like this, you can kind of just go up on the riverbank, flatten it out a little bit, and then start laying your rails. So I guess that's why a lot, or you know, they're along creeks as well, but I guess that's why we see a lot of them along water like this. It's a big old fishing boat. Seen a couple boats out here. People out fishing. It's a perfect day for it, for sure. Hey, people rolling along. Not sure how far I'm going to go today, but I thought I would try to make it up to one of these dams. Should be a pretty good ride. I've done about 4 miles so far. Seems like longer than that though. 51 volts on my battery. I don't know how much I'd like to jog on this rail trail. I used to jog a good bit back in my lighter days, high school and college years, but I know running on rock and stuff like this, I'd end up with a shoe full of gravel. I tell you what, these rail trails, once the leaves come out, all that foliage, boy, it makes for a nice shaded area to ride. You don't have to worry too much about getting sunburnt, and it cools you off nicely being in the shade like this. It's just a very enjoyable day to get out and ride your bike. I don't care how many times I go through those pieces of wood sticking up to keep cars off, but and ATVs, every time you go through, you feel like you're going to hit them, go flying. That'd be a bad day, but I've been fortunate so far. Coming up to a road crossing. It's a pretty minor road. There's just a few houses along the river out here. Yeah, like maybe I've said this before, but I really never biked in my life. You know, when I was younger, you know, I had a bike like everybody else. We rode around town, but that was more to get to some place that we needed to go before we had our driver's license. I never really took the time to just go out on a trail like this and just enjoy the outdoors. But I have to tell you, I don't know if anybody watched Point Break years ago, Patrick Swayze movie, where they were talking about surfing and how you kind of, I don't know, it was almost a spiritual type thing, sitting out there waiting for your wave. Riding bikes like this is probably similar. You just have a lot of time to just sit and think, enjoy the outdoors, your surroundings, things that you wouldn't normally see when you're driving in a car. There's just something about it that I don't know, it just kind of calls you to come out and hop on your bike and take off and have a good time. Something very relaxing about it. Even though you're working out, you're getting exercise, there's just something so relaxing about it. And I never really experienced this before until I started getting out on these trails and riding on my bike. And to be quite honest with you, I've had a mountain bike for years, but I might ride it once or twice a year, if that. Probably more like once or twice every 4 or 5 years. But with this bike, there's just something different. It just makes you want to get on it and ride. I don't know if it's the sturdiness of it, if it's the motor, knowing that you have some assist if you really start to get tired. I don't know. Don't know what it is, but there's something about it, for sure, that just makes you want to get out and ride. Just a great time. So we shouldn't be too far from this dam up here. That'll probably be our turnaround point. Something up here in the road running. Maybe it's a bunny rabbit. Oh, a squirrel. Yep, squirrel right there. That's one thing I haven't seen quite so much around here lately is squirrels. Back when I was a kid, we go down to my grandparents' farm, and my dad and his 4 brothers, grandpa, myself, my brother, we'd go out on a deer hunt, and there were so many squirrels around that you could never tell when a deer was coming towards you because the woods were so noisy with squirrels. And now, I don't know if a disease went through or something, but I just don't see them like I used to. And I really don't know anybody that just goes out and squirrel hunts too much, so I don't think they've been overhunted. Big stand of bamboo here. I don't see that too often here in West Virginia. I don't know why, but I've always been drawn to bamboo. I love bamboo. I'm not sure. It's kind of one of those weird things, but whenever I see a stand of bamboo, it just makes my face light up. I guess it's because I know they're so useful for so many things. Especially if you're in some sort of a survival type deal out in the wilderness. Man, you can use them as a cup. You can actually, they hold water, they have sections. You can use them as a cup. You can kind of hold them over a fire with water in it to get, boil out any of the impurities. They float, so you could possibly make some kind of a raft if you needed to get across a river such as this or something like that, and you can't swim very well, or you're afraid you may not be able to make it that far. There's just so many things. You can use them as irrigation, kind of like a gutter. Cut out the sections in long pieces. I don't know. I mean, you can make shelters with them. They're very strong. Just a very useful thing. I just love bamboo. All right. I see the dam. And I tell you, this may just be as good a time as any to go on and turn around and head back. I don't know what I'm trying to prove going much farther than this. But it's a beautiful Saturday, and I know I've got stuff back at the house I need to do. But I can see up there somebody's trying to clear off a mountaintop. I don't know what they're going to be building. But yeah, there's a bench here, nice clearing, and then I don't know if you can see way off in the distance the dam out there. But I think I'm going to not sit down, I'm going to stand here, take a quick water break. And this is a nice place to just sit and think.